The Senate has started its investigation into the impact of the pandemic on the education system and the government's plans moving forward. Jen Calimon reports to us live from Malabon to give us more details. Jen, good afternoon. Are the senators for or against the resumption of face-to-face classes this year?
Well, Charles, most senators present during today's committee hearing are in favor of the resumption of school opening, but with some reservations. For Senator Win Gatchalian, though he is in favor of school reopening, hopefully in August, and if we already have vaccines, but he urged the DepEd or the Department of Education to come up with a detailed plan regarding the pilot testing or pilot classes, because until now, it is not clear as to how and where they would implement it. As for Senator Binay, she hopes that the pilot testing will be done in areas with low to no cases of COVID-19, such as Batanes or Siquijor, to see if pilot classes will be successful. And for Senator Francis Pangilinan, he suggested to conduct the pilot classes in small number of schools in the country because of the emergence of UK variant, which will pose more danger to public. Charles?
Right, Jen, just to recall, the President did say that there would be no face-to-face classes up and until there's a vaccine available to the general public. What is the DepEd's current stance on the matter insofar as how far along or how far away we are before this can be implemented?
Yes, Charles, the Department of Education stressed the need to finally conduct face-to-face classes in school. According to Yusek Nepomuceno Malaluan, face-to-face classes can help address difficulty in assessing the development of a child. It can also mitigate technological problems since not all children in the Philippines have access to the internet, and it could also ease negative mental health impacts among children. But regarding its implementation, Charles, that will depend on the decision of the IATF and the President as well.
All right, Jen, let's parse through the numbers a bit. How many schools actually were closed due to the pandemic, and how many of these were private and how many were public schools?
Charles, DepEd data shows that 61,923 schools were closed for learners. That includes 47,188 public schools, 271 SUCs, and 14,435 private schools. Meanwhile, 929 private schools in the Philippines are not opening in school years 2020 to 2021, Charles.
Right, Jen, so the DepEd is for the implementation of face-to-face classes, but then do we have more details on precisely how they intend to do this?
Well, Charles, first of all, the Department of Education clarified that this face-to-face classes will be done only in 1,065 pilot schools in the country and not in the entire schools in the Philippines. And this will only be done under stringent conditions. There will be intermittent basis for prioritization of learners, and there will be seating arrangements. Classes will also be done probably once or twice a week, depending on the discretion of DepEd regional offices. Charles?
Right, I understand that the UNICEF had something to say about the matter. Could you tell us more about this?
Yes, Charles, the UNICEF gave the summary of the recommendations regarding opening of schools, which is divided into 3 phases. Well, these are first to start pilot classes as soon as possible in low-risk areas, modification of omnibus guidelines for community quarantine, preparation of nationwide in-person classes for school year 2021 to 2022, protection for children, for students and teachers, and continued investment and support for distant learning modalities. UNICEF also said that Indonesia, considering that they have higher cases than in our country, is already implementing face-to-face classes in pilot schools. Charles?
Right, any other noteworthy points that were discussed at the hearing earlier today?
Yes, Charles, the committee hearing is still ongoing in the Senate. But if I may just add, the Philippine Pediatric Society discussed the long-term effects of distance learning to children, such as decreased motivation to learn and reduction in foundation skills. That's why they agreed to open the schools this year. Aside from this, Ating Guro Party List hopes that the DepEd could come up with a plan to provide COVID-19 immunization for teachers. Lastly, Yusek Densing of DILG said that majority of LGUs in the country are in favor of reopening the classes, whether face-to-face or blended. But at the end of the day, Charles, the IATF and the President will have to decide on this matter. Charles.
Thanks for that, Jen. That was Jen Kalimon reporting live from Malabon.